Hounds, welcome back to the House of Hounds. You are once again sitting down with greatness. We have the voice actress for the beloved Robin and Nekomata. We have Alice Himora sitting down with us, and we're going to have an epic conversation. How are you today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm good.
I feel like I'm sitting down with royalty. There was
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes. And we're going to double down on that because one, you're extremely talented, because I love when I talk to you guys and, you know, it's hard for me to pick up your speaking voice versus the voice that I hear in game. So
yeah.
it's awesome. It's incredibly awesome. So, you know,
Thank you.
we're going to dive into your lore. We're going to touch on, you know, your experience in Zenless Zone Zero, your experience in Honkai Star Rail. I am super excited about this. And more importantly, your experience being you.
My lord.
Yes. The backstory.
Yes. Tragic backstory that led to this.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get the tears flowing. I'm joking. Happy times.
No.
Happy times.
It all started when I was born.
Oh, we're going way back. That's
No. What would you like to know? Let's start with that.
How did you get started in the voiceover industry?
Well, I'm a pandemic voice actor baby. I didn't have a job. I was actually going to become a CNA so that way I could become a PA later. And I couldn't take my test because we were during the pandemic. And
That's fair.
I literally was like, man, you know what I always wanted to do was act. And for the first time, my husband now, he told me just do it, which was the first time I really heard that. So I decided to, just for fun, just doing little comics here and there because, you know, voiceover was what I could do at home. And I ended up falling in love with it.
And, well, definitely shout out to you for pursuing your dreams, right? But also shout out to hubby. It's awesome having a supportive partner. You know,
Literally. I had never been told, well, just do it. I was like, well, you won't make money. He's like, I don't care. It really was. It was the first time I was told, just do it. So.
See, and I love that. And just do it. You did, because you're involved in some, you know, heavy hitting properties. Did you know you're in Pokemon?
I don't know, man.
How did that happen? Like, how does that feel to be part of? Did you play Pokemon growing up?
I did. I watched it as a kid, and before like I even knew how to read, I was like pretending to be Pokemon at my pool and stuff. Like, I love the franchise.
How does it feel to now be part of that world? You're like, I did that.
I feel like numb, but not in the bad sense. Numb as in like, is that me? Did I do that? It doesn't quite feel real. Like it I know logically, yes, I did do this. It's in my credits, but acknowledging it does not feel real.
Well, I mean, that's because you're like, I'm supposed to be here. You're like, this is what I'm supposed to do, and that's okay. And to touch back a little bit on, you know, I like to call them pandemic projects because the pandemic was a horrible experience, right? You know, I had my own taste of it and things of that nature. But I feel like it was an event that led people down paths they were supposed to be down. Like, I feel like it accelerated things, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like it was right too much in the way that you couldn't go back to just how you were normally living, even if like that was the plan all along. Like, you just couldn't at that point. And in my case, I just kind of did something I wasn't planning on doing at all.
Now, you know, how did you find, you know, because people have told me to say, hey, man, you have a nice voice. Maybe you should get into voiceover. And I'm like, you know, and it is something I am looking into. But how did you find, you know, the voice I have is nice. Maybe I should use it for something. How did you come across that?
Oh man, to this day, I'm still cringing at my own voice. I was just editing a video earlier and I was like, um, I guess like for voice acting wise, I don't know. I just kind of have always messed around with my voice. It was the one thing that like I don't know, I have like complete control over in a way. So like talking to my pets, it's always that high pitched little or like I don't know. I would walk around the house before doing voice acting, doing weird voices, like talking to myself that way. I'm probably a little crazy. Um but
we
like
we
I
all
I
are.
would be like, "Oh, this has to go over here." Like I would just like try to make life a little bit more entertaining.
No, and I love that. And I love that. But how did you come up with the voice of, we'll start with Robin. How did you discover,
Ah,
her voice?
Miss Robin. I will say, and I've said this before, I wasn't even going to audition for her because I just wasn't confident in what I was doing. And one of her lines were so like wordy. I had to like read it in a yeehaw accent to really understand it. That's like my go-to when I'm stuck. I just say it like this and somehow it makes sense.
That's
And
canon
then
now.
yeah. You had no idea how much I was freaking out when I learned about Boot Hill. I was like, "Oh my god." But I think what I really tried to do is hone in on the key markers that they gave us during the audition because we didn't really get much, right?
Mm.
We didn't even get like an image or anything. And she reminded me of my friend who, talks like this. I just really wish everybody would get along. Like that's just genuinely how she is.
That's fair.
So I kind of found it that way. And this ended up happening.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Because, she's so peaceful and that's why I said
Mhm.
royalty, very, very graceful, which we appreciate. And I say this to say you embody a lot of that character. You know,
Oh, oh.
I'm going to say I'm a fan of so much of your guys' work because I see the things you guys post up on like X or YouTube and whatnot,
Mhm.
and seeing your interactions with fans of the series and of your character is beautiful. You know, because
Aw.
because you're at cons or you're chilling out and a lot of us go incognito or you might have like a mask on or you might just be chilling
Yeah.
doing your thing and you'll see someone dressed as Robin and
Oh, yes.
yes and I thought that was awesome. I just thought that was awesome
Yes. I'm always like when I go to cons, I'm like, oh my god, there's a Robin. Oh, Nekomata?
because it's like you're making a memory for that person now. They're like, yeah, I'm
Yes.
dressed as my favorite character. Whoa, I just met my favorite character.
Yes.
But
I've always said that like one of my goals with doing voiceover is, and it's mostly from my own experience of having this happen to me, is I wish I could be part of somebody's childhood like all those voice actors that we know now have been for me.
okay.
So that's one of my goals. So to hear that is like, oh, I'm getting there.
Oh, that warmed my heart when I saw that clip because you easily could have just done your thing and be like, oh yeah, cool cosplay, but you were like, no, I need to meet this person, and it's cool.
Yes.
It's cool hearing it from the other side, because yes, they have
Mhm.
their experience, but that's a cool memory for you as well.
Oh, it 100% is, and it's a little scary at the same time. Same thing of that. Oh, is this real?
Well,
If I blink, is it gonna go away?
no, 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 no. You like I said, your resume. You said you haven't been in the game long, but you've got some like heavy properties on there, and that just speaks to
Ah.
what you've done and where you were meant to be.
Oh, thank you.
Well, let's dive onto the other side. How did you
Mm.
find the voice for Nekomata?
She was incredibly easy. I saw Cat Girl and I went, okay. I absolutely love cat characters and the fact that she is like almost sickly cute because she wants to be. just is like it just scratches an itch. I absolutely love Nekomata. I would have to say she probably is my favorite voice I've recorded for, just 'cause she's so much fun.
Well, can you help me, because I've seen like people pull in your proximity and get Nekomata. She refuses to touch my account.
No, you gotta bait her with mackerel. You gotta
Fair
be
enough.
like, look, I got some mackerel here. And you know what? Here's some luck. Throwing some luck your way. You can't see it, but I'm throwing it.
Because I'm just like, okay, so we'll talk the truth of gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
No one really wants to lose a 50-50, right?
Oh,
You're like, I'm rolling for this character. But you're like, if I do lose the 50-50, I'm cool if these people come home. And she's
yes.
just like, try again, loser. And I'm like, okay, I guess.
Next time.
See, I got thrown IRL.
No, I have like the worst gotcha luck for myself. Like I give other people luck all the time. And I didn't think she was going to come home at all for me. I had zero hope, but I was baiting her. So I think it'll work.
You know what? I'm going to buy some fish and I'm going to roll on the standard banner and see what happens.
Yes.
Spend responsibly, please. But no, because it's like every time I go to like pull, right? Like they laugh with my community. I'll say, oh, I'm not going to pull for this character. I'm just going to, save. And then I'll mess around on stream and do like a random 10 pull. And then the character will come home. Low pity.
But the one you want.
Yup. I have to go to like that disgusting pity. I lose my 50-50. There's a bunch of, trolls and keck dubs in the chat. And I'm like, awesome. I'm glad you're having fun with that. But
I'm glad you're smiling at my failure. Thank you.
Right.
No, I totally get that. I had to E6 Robin and I lost every 50-50 but the last one.
Oh, my. I normally say don't E6 your character, but if it's your character, like your voice, I get it 100%.
Yeah. Also, she's kind of scary, so I'm glad it's her.
Yeah. Angel Bird Lady does it hard.
Oh my gosh, she's scary.
Well, let's dive back into you. What is your approach to, voice acting? How do you say, you know what, I'm going to get into character. This is how we're going to figure this out.
I guess it depends on how much information they give me. Sometimes it's literally nothing, and it's just 3 lines with 3 words each.
Wow.
So it's the bare minimum. Sometimes they give me an entire lore packet. And sometimes it's somewhere in the middle. Most of the time, I'll try to like single out what makes sense to me. So like even if I get like a giant lore packet, if I can pick out like, oh, this character's traumatized, but they are energetic and they're da-da-da, then I can combine those and play around. Typically, and I know not everybody works this way, but I tend to do the voice first. Like I try to pick out the voice that I want to do, or like 2 voices that I think are fine, and then I'll act, just so I can get that out of the way. Because it to me, it's like, oh, this person would always talk in this voice, so it doesn't matter after that. Like as long as I pick the tone and everything, whatever comes will come naturally after that.
Okay, I like that approach. That's a very that's a very creative approach, because it's like, okay, I've figured out the tone. Now I'm going to craft it to this character.
Yeah. It's like puppeting, I guess, in a way. Like, okay, so whatever this character says, it has to make sense with, everything that they may or may not have given me. But I do know that other people will look at the technicalities more. For me, I work best with feeling. And if I'm not digging a line, or if I'm not vibing with something, I will do my yeehaw trick. Which I don't know why, it just works. I'll just say the line in the worst Texan accent I can, and I find ways that I could play around with it that I didn't notice earlier. So I switch back over.
I hope you know, in my mind, Robin is now a country music singer. So that's her new lore.
Pop idol, but she can do country.
Now, when you take your time and you're crafting these characters, is there ever a point where you feel as though you've put a lot of you and your own emotions into the performance?
Um, yeah, I would say so. I think for me, um, and obviously I'm not speaking for everybody, that's why I'm saying for me. When I jump into like a scene, whether it's normal or if it's super emotional, I think I'm bringing my past experiences and just replaying them for that scene. So, like, let's say the character just lost somebody they love. My body, my mind remembers that feeling. So,
Hmm.
even if I'm pretending to be this character, that feeling is the real part of it. And it's just being executed through that character. So, that's typically how I tend to do it. And so, I don't even have to worry about like technicalities of like, oh, did I sniffle enough?
Yeah.
Or.
Emotions are so powerful because
Mhm.
humble flex, but that's one of my powerlifting titles over there. And I'm normally like a calm, I guess, like reserved person.
Mhm.
And when I would go and deadlift, my wife would say, you kind of turn into somebody else up there, and I'm like, it's because I have to go into like some deep
Yeah.
recess of my mind, because
Yes.
picking up this weight hurts. So I have to go somewhere to make it happen. So I get it.
No, 100%. Like our emotions dictate our behaviors whether we realize it or not.
Yeah.
So I kind of just play with that, and usually what comes out is just I don't know how to describe it other than literally playing pretend. Like, I don't know if you've ever talked, like, have an argument in the shower or something like that. Like I should have said that. It's kind of like that where like you're just so much in the zone that whatever comes out naturally. You don't have to worry about adding pizzazz or anything.
Oh, I'm certifiable. There's like 8 voices I do throughout the house, and I've had
Yeah.
conversations in the shower, so it's
You
fine.
sound like me.
It's so I get it. Now,
Yes.
now, what are some of the differences you found in doing voiceover for like a TV show, perhaps, to something like a game?
I think it depends on like TV show as in like prelay or anime.
Let's talk anime.
Anime? Okay. Anime versus video games, I feel like I have less of free range because I have to match the lip flap with the very
Mm.
specific script. Like I have no room to play. In what room that I do have, it's very narrow. So it's trickier for me, and I wish I could get better at it. It just will happen with practice, where like that free range that I feel when I'm doing video games where they don't really have a constraint. Sometimes it's a timing thing, but that doesn't. Um, versus like anime, and then I need to be able to play just a little bit more in that narrow field. I need to get good at that part.
And I've always wondered that, like the lip flap on. So when you're doing like the lip flap for
Hmm.
video games, is that crafted after the voice? Because I know with the anime, it's already been pre-dubbed.
Yeah,
Or yeah.
so wait. Okay, maybe I could just confuse myself. So like is the lip flap come first and then the voice, or what do you
Yeah,
mean?
in terms of video games.
Oh, video games. Video games, usually we don't see anything.
Okay.
So we're allowed to like as long as they're not like oh, you have to say this within 5 seconds. You can't go over 5 seconds. That's usually the kind of constraint that we
Oh.
have. But other than that, I don't have to match it to the expression. I don't have to match it to any lip flaps. It's pretty free. Even with like the trailers and everything, we get scratch material.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and I think on my trailer, I didn't realize I was supposed to actually be hearing the trailer at the same time, so I was just winging it to the last line when they figured it out.
Ah, you killed it. You killed it.
I didn't know. How was I supposed to know?
Now,
Yeah, we get a little bit freedom.
and I love that. Creative freedom is such a powerful tool because I feel
Hmm.
like you get these moments where everyone's just like, you know what, I didn't account for that, but it's here and I love it.
Yes. And like personally with me and the way that I also like to do stuff is I'm a breathing actor.
Mhm.
So like my line, I might break it up with like a something like that. Like
Mhm.
I try to express it through the breathing as well. So having those pauses is very nice for me. But like when I'm doing anime, we don't get those pauses.
And see, that's so cool because that's done in music as well. That the
Mhm.
silence can be so powerful. It,
Yes,
it creates
yes. The
that tension.
nonverbal sounds are so
Yes.
important and they can convey a lot more than you think.
I like your approach. It's very how can I put it? It's very organic. It's like
Mm.
I'm here where we're figuring this out and crafting it as we go. And I think
Yes.
that's really cool.
Yeah, I I wish I could say I'm more of a technical person because then I'd be more precise with what I'm doing and know what I'm doing every time I go in the booth. But I really am just a feeling person, and even with characters that like, for example, pretending that they're okay, I like to show little itty bitty cracks in their facade that they're not okay during their lines, just to add that little bit of realness to it.
Okay. That's see now I got to go back and listen to a couple more things. I'm like I hear it and I feel it. I feel it in here.
That
Now
slight hesitation.
now this is one of my favorite questions to ask. If you had a pick of any property that you could be a part of, which verse would you join? It can be movies, anime, gaming. Where would you find yourself?
I do want to do more on-camera stuff. So that would be nice. But I guess like franchise-wise, and I've said this before at con, and it's never going to happen. I would have loved to do BioShock, any of those games. I would have been a screaming slicer. I don't care. Put me in there. Um, that would have been my absolute dream just because I have such a like a sweet spot for those games. But other than those, on-camera stuff would be super fun. If I could do animation, like animated videos or animated movies, it'd be really, really fun. 'Cause those are prelay. I don't have to worry about matching the flaps.
It's like it's already been done.
Yeah. You're gonna match to me.
Now, let's do, some off the cuff, kind of like rapid fire.
Okay, okay.
Hero or villain?
Mm, anti-hero.
Okay, okay. There's your North Star is good, but your means may be a little questionable. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yes, yes.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Hmm. That's a good one. Probably Star Wars.
I'm trying to get a section of your fandom mad at you. That's all.
Yeah.
Marvel or DC?
Marvel because of Spider-Man.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair.
Yep.
Spider-Man is iconic.
Oh yeah.
Now, have you ever wanted to like? I know, dumb question, but have you ever wanted to dabble into like the Marvel Cinematic Universe and like what character would you play?
Oh, that would be so much fun. Oh, honestly, any character. Again, I would be a talking squirrel. Just put me in there, Chief. I'm ready.
I mean, there is Squirrel Girl, and that could be your live
Oh,
action.
yes. Perfect. My dream role.
See, there you go. Now, now, just to bring it in, I always love doing that section, because just kind of just off the cuff, but
Mm.
just to kind of bring it back in, what are some things that you believe make a great actor?
Oh, there are so many things. The first thing that comes to mind is being able to take direction, which includes leaving your ego at the door. Whether your ego is bruised or pompous, just leave it there. When you come into the booth, even if you think you had the perfect way of reading this line, if the director wants you to do something else, you adapt. You completely 180, you scrap whatever you had earlier and you do the best you can with the new direction. If you can't do that, you're not acting. You're just doing whatever you wanted to. I think the other thing that make an actor, what's the word I'm looking for other than good?
Extraordinary.
Yes, what makes an actor extraordinary is being able, in my opinion, to convey what they mean, even if they're saying the totally opposite.
Ooh.
If I can pick up on what your character truly wants on the inside, even if like the scene is not saying that, I will think you did a phenomenal job. Like, I mean, the easiest way to see this is when you have like a good character that turns out to be a bad character, right? But like,
True.
if you are so wholeheartedly convinced they're good, but you see those little itty bitty spots and then it all adds up in the end. It's so good.
Oh, see, and I enjoy that, right? And then when we go a little bit deeper into that, I love a villain that I can't find fault in their reasoning.
Yes.
I'm like,
Your execution is questionable,
right.
but I can't fault you for this.
It's like, man, that's not cool, but I get how you got there.
Yes. And then, like, one of the other things, which is very specific, I have to be very clear when I say this, is if you can make me hate you, then that's also good. But it can't be like, oh, I hate you because you're bad at what you're doing right here, or like, I don't believe you, or like, I hate the voice that you chose. No, like, if you are doing your job as the most unlikable character, you're doing a great job.
Now,
Like,
who is your most hated villain?
my most hated villain? Oh no. I kind My most I like all villains, is the problem.
See,
I can't.
you would be a good professional wrestling fan because I'm from Philadelphia, and whenever wrestling comes here, you know, you have the bad guys, they're known as heels. They say
Yeah.
Philly is such a weird town because we go there and everyone cheers the heel and boos the face.
No, okay, but like that was me at Medieval Times earlier this year. We got assigned the villain and I was here for it. I was like, kill him!
You're like, I got to get this out.
Yes, it's our time. We're the villains. Yeah. I don't know. It's really hard. I guess my most hated villain that I just don't like because they're I don't know. We'll come back.
That's fair. So, have you watched the show Heroes?
I think I've seen clips of it. Wait. Are we talking about old heroes?
Yeah, it was like
Silas?
Yes, Siler saved the.
Yeah.
So that show, it breaks my heart every time I think about that show because the writer's strike took place, I think, in like season 2, and the show never recovered. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you got to strike, you got to strike. Do what you got to do. I respect it. But as just from like the consumer side, I saw the writing go. I was like, oh no, but I stuck with it. And the villain, Siler. This
Oh yeah, it was
dude,
Siler, not Silas. My bad.
no, you're fine. I was all about him. I was like, yo, I get why he's doing this. He's obsessed with it. But then the show's been out for a while, so I'm dropping a spoiler. If they haven't seen it, it's on you at this point. Not you. But
No, not me.
he took out one of my favorite characters, the guy who could fly. I believe his name was it Nathan? Or Nathan's brother. But when he took him out after that, I was like, bro, you did too much.
You.
Yeah.
You took it too far.
I was like, that was unnecessary. Bro just flew. That's all he did. You didn't need that power.
Yeah, you didn't need that. Why? No, I get that.
Because at first you saw his upbringing and you were like, I get why he is that way. But then you're like, you really can't help yourself. And now you've taken it too far. And that was the turn for me. I was like, I can't stand you now.
Yep. You've lost it. You lost me.
Yes. Well, listen, this has been incredible fun. I appreciate your time. I appreciate, you sharing your lore with me and the House of Hounds.
No, of course. Thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure. Now, where can we find you online?
Literally anywhere that says Alice Himora. I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, everything.
Are you on Blue Sky?
I am on Blue Sky.
Yes.
I migrated a while ago.
Yes. It's an interesting platform. I feel like it's brought the social back to social media.
You know what? I had that same vibe because I was like, why is it nice here?
Yeah, like people are just actually having conversations.
This is weird.
Like as an influencer on Blue Sky, I'm still going to post stuff because I got bills to pay. But I almost I'm like, I don't know if I want to post that. Like that's purely just content. I just want to chat. But
can I just vibe here, please?
Right. It might just be my vibe platform. That might just be it. But I appreciate you. We're going to make sure we have exactly where to find you. All your links are going to be down below. Thank you very much for your time. This has been phenomenal. And once again, all of you have sat down with greatness. Support Alice Himora, support the House of Hounds, and welcome to the House of Hounds. We're out.
Bye.